Happy Trans Awareness Week. Isn't it crazy how fast Trans Awareness Week comes around? And I think it's really because we're really thinking about this on a daily basis. Like, transness is every day. Anyway, today's video, answering your frequently asked top surgery questions, plus CicaLux update. It's been 7 months since talking about CicaLux, and I wasn't intending for it to be that long between updates, but really I've been super focused on just flattening this and truthfully realizing that I wasn't that connected to my physical self anymore. Like, after a certain point in top surgery recovery, and I'd seen my results and I had finally known what it was like to live in this body I was always waiting on, there came a point where I again kind of disassociated with physical self, right? And not really connecting to the body. And it's not because I didn't feel right, but just because I had already gotten used to not really always having to be here and learning what and other things you can tap into from your mind when you're not aligned with your body. And so those things came even more to the forefront after I became at peace. So there was a point where I wasn't really using the CicaLux tapes all the time, honestly, because I wasn't tapped in, right? I wasn't looking, wasn't really thinking about it, right? Even though I wanted this scar to go away, I wasn't like being honest with the treatment for some time. So, that kind of delayed my process. But overall, honestly, like, check this out, y'all. Look at the before, the last time I showed a video and where I was at, to right now. This is current time. Like, this is crazy. And even showing the results to CicaLux themselves, and they're just like, you know what? The commitment and just knowing how old the scar was at the time when I started the treatment. It was already like a year-old, scar before I started. And to see the results are truly amazing and impressive. Still continuing it. I really want to see this flatten all the way out. We're really close. You can tell how close it is. I just put a heat stone, treatment on it right now. I love that, that massage-like kind of warm feeling from this stone. Heat therapy has really done wonders, and it's my favorite part of the treatment. So a lot of people are asking if this is useful. It's absolutely useful. It's just like an eraser. It feels like you're erasing that scar, and I can see every day it's going away. I love it, and thank you, CicaLux. Just having you guys just kind of pop up in my world and make this become a reality for me. So I wanted to share with all y'all, because honestly, the best thing I can share to you that I wish that I knew beforehand, and I kind of was already trying to figure this out, of what might happen if my scar did have some type of hypertrophy. What would happen? How do I treat it? And there are options with your surgeon, but now there's also this option, which is incredible to be able to do this from the comfort of your own home. You're 3 to 6 weeks after your surgery, you are free to start using CicaLux. The instructional video that I posted is right here. Last time was just that easy 3-step treatment with the scar tape, the silicone sheet, and the stone. Put the stone in the microwave, 10 to 15 seconds, up to 2 times. Honestly, I do it a lot. Not gonna lie, it feels amazing, and really truly I can see the result best when you use the stone. You guys can save 10% off your CicaLux treatment with code St. Hall. Put it right here, 10% off at checkout. Let's get a quick look at how we're doing, I guess, even though like I said, I just ran a treatment from the microwave. And just make sure it's on. Like, since this is me in the middle, it's also kind of tricky to get it to stay down. Sometimes, like right now, if I'm hot and this body starts to sweat and this lifts. So just always making sure that I'm keeping that engaged throughout the day, checking in, making sure it's pressed. This is on, everything's making contact in the right areas so that I know that I'm really optimizing. All right, let's check it out. All right, frequently asked questions. Any tips on how to not be nervous about the surgery? So there were actually a lot of questions around just feelings before going into the operation room. And honestly, you guys, just think about it. This is a major surgery. And so it's okay to feel all of your emotions. As you're being wheeled back, emotions can get heavy. And so just allow yourself to feel them, breathe, make sure you're remaining centered and you're not kind of overthinking it and making yourself feel too worried, but know that it's okay if you're feeling nervous, and it will kind of help ease you into the operating table and all the rest that happens after that. You need to just really be calm and know that this is essentially the moment that you've wanted and have been waiting for. It's here. It's overwhelming, but all will be well. Stay positive. Think about yourself after the fact, what you're gonna look like, what you're gonna feel like, just everything. All right, next up. About how long after getting surgery did things take to get back to normal, and could you go back to life without bandages and a binder? So I wore that binder, I believe it was the first week or two after. I think it's always different for the surgeon, but for myself at the Gender Confirmation Center, it was really good to have that compression after surgery. It felt really good. It was like a security blanket. I talked about that in another video. But yeah, so about things going back to normal though, honestly, it's just this process of healing post surgery is ongoing, many years, like even right now, coming up on 2 years in December. Still, you can see you can make it what you want. Truly, it's about you maximizing the results, but also just allowing time to kind of go on, and your scar will continue to go through a course of different changes, in color and color coming off, and things like that. Just know that changes are okay and should be expected, and all is well yet again. And don't worry about it too much. Like right here, I wrote, be patient, it will continue to change. Don't overthink it, just live it, care for it, and keep it moving. So how long to do scar treatment? So again, you kind of just gauge it as your results are going on, just what is needed for you. Everybody's different, but for me, you can see I'm, like I said, almost 2 years in, I'm still treating my scar just because of certain things that I want. But that's not like the case for everyone. It really just depends on what happens with your body and your skin. Okay, this part is huge, and it's talking about the aftercare and whether you have someone that's going to help you or if you're going to be doing this alone. All right, so after surgery, did you have someone taking care of you? I'm going to be doing this alone and I'm freaking out. Any tips? So I did have someone helping me. My mom and my sister helped me out. So they took care of my drains. I had drains, so they were able to dump it. They brought me food. But thinking of anyone who would be experiencing this on their own, the best thing that I can tell you is to think of yourself before surgery as the one who will help you after surgery, right? So all the setup and prep work that you can do for your own self is going to be everything that will help you later. And those things can be just setting up that station. You're going to be laying down for those number of weeks. Where will that be? You have your pillow set up. You have all your supplies that you ordered from the Top Surgery Packing List video that I dropped. You have your shirt if you have drains, that's zippable. It's easy to remove your drains in that way, keeping your elbows down. You can do things for yourself if you just are mindful of what those things can be before you're in that situation, and so that you set your station up so that you have your water in the bottle, your food, a straw that can bend, so you don't need to do too much moving around. Just think about it ahead of time, the things that you might need, and you'll be all right. It's not too bad needing to do stuff recovery wise, because you should be resting. And then if you have meal prepped your food, or if you have any friends or family or anyone that can bring you the food, that could be helpful. But again, like meal prepping ahead of time so that you just need to warm it up, and not needing to actually cook and go to the store and drive and all these things, because even something as simple as a sneeze is going to feel a little odd. So you're not going to be wanting to make many moves. Just thinking about however you can minimize the amount of things you need to do later, do that ahead of time. Oh, same goes for the T-shot. I did my own T-shot, even though I had help. Like, it was still I'm still able to do that, because I do mine in my leg, so it wasn't anything different for me, honestly. So, but if you need assistance, just think about that again ahead of time. Anything you would do differently regarding your surgery, with your surgery. For me, I felt like I did a really good job kind of asking the questions I wanted. I think the only thing I would want to know, maybe a second opinion, or just really digging deeper on if I needed to join this in the middle, because sometimes I've seen others that had larger chests that didn't join the middle. So just stuff like that. Anything you absolutely needed for or during recovery. Can I know the price? Oh man, those two I put together. So once you get to the hospital, and now I might have known this ahead of time, but for whatever reason when I got there, it was a surprise to me that there were more fees that I needed to pay after having just paid so many thousands the week beforehand for the surgery. But things like anesthesia and just the supplies that they'll use while you're using the facility, you need to pay for that. Luckily, you can do a payment plan, so I chose a smaller amount right then and there on the spot, and then made some other payments on it later. But there are more fees, and it's not cheap. Lead times can be months to months on any of these waiting lists for just a pre-op, just the beginning stages, not even the surgery, so that each one of those can be months in between of waiting on a list. So just know that the more that you can get ahead of the information that you want for your own surgery and what you think that you want to talk about with a surgeon, do that so that you can make those, get your letters. And it really depends on who you are working with and how committed you are to getting this each step taken care of, like in terms of getting a letter for the surgery and then submitting that, getting the insurance, finding out how much, making that payment, getting the pre-op. There's so many steps, and we'll go through all this in a separate video, but it's on you to kind of just think about all the other time that is needed on their end too. So just make a plan. Is it normal for the black layer to start coming off 1 week post top surgery? And absolutely yes, it's normal, and it will freak you out because it was also freaking me out, and I was feeling like I was doing something wrong, even though I did sort of recall her telling me that this would happen. When it starts to happen, you really feel like you're doing something wrong, even though you're not making it happen. It's supposed to happen that way, so it's natural, and it's gonna be okay. When it comes off, you'll see a lot of pink pigment, and it will take some time for the color to continue to come back. And really, you can see that I still have some areas that I'm waiting on the pigment to return. It's totally fine. You can get it tattooed if you want, or just rock it like this, man. It's really not that bad. You just kind of got to get weighted out. Like I was saying earlier, it's just, you're always going to see progression, and then also just how you accentuate that. So anyways, it's love, y'all. Those are the top surgery frequently asked questions you guys have hit me with, just kind of over the course of top surgery content, and then the past couple week on Instagram. Appreciate you all for dropping by and showing love to the vids, and I'll see you next time. Peace. And as always, if you have a surgery coming up, this is one of my favorite things to get a message about. Like, just even see the way these views just skyrocket, just top surgery alone. I was thinking that I didn't need to follow up with so much content, but that's what you guys ask for most, is top surgery. So just happy we get started out Trans Awareness Week with some top surgery talking. Anyways, appreciate you.